Well, this is how the teams line up. Everton welcome back goalkeeper Richard Wright, who's been out since injuring an ankle during the warm-up before the 4-1 FA Cup defeat at Chelsea on February the 8th. The on-loan Sander Westerveld drops to the bench. Duncan Ferguson, who scored the winner in this fixture last season, is into the penultimate game of his 7-match suspension. Fulham have former Everton midfielder Mark Pembridge in the side for the first time this season after a lengthy calf injury. He replaces another ex-Evertonian, Thomas Radzinski, who picked up a knock in training this week. Chris Coleman's other change sees Carlos Bocanegra preferred to Alain Gomar at centre-half. There was talk of Wayne Bridge returning this afternoon, but he remains sidelined after injuring his ankle on England duty 10 days ago. Uriah Rennie, the man in charge. Everton will keep believing they can reach the UEFA Cup. Fulham will keep themselves. They're not quite clear from relegation yet. So no lack of motivation at Goodison Park. Game underway. Fulham in the white shirts. Everton in their traditional blue and white, attacking the goal to our left-hand side. Alongside me to watch this one today is Davy Provan. Davy, what are you expecting from this game?
Well, I'm bound to say I expect Everton to win it. So that's the first thing I would say, John. You just wonder how fragile Fulham's confidence might be.
Arteta's got it along the byline early, whips across, which is too long. Hibbert will try and keep the pressure on. Played in by Philip Neville. Little dummy was by McFadden. Fulham escape. Here come Everton again. Nuno Valente down the left-hand side, still has it. Crosses in again. Pembridge with his first touch since May last year.
That's good refereeing from Uriah Rennie there, allowing the play to develop there. Could have given a free kick against Arteta, but decided to allow Valente to get himself forward. And it's the type of busy start that we expected here from Everton.
It has been a very positive start by the home side, but why wouldn't it be? Fulham have the worst away record in English football, 3 points from 14 games. Everton won their last 4 here in the Premiership. Here's Simon Elliott, the New Zealand international for Fulham, finding that night. McBride tussling against his former teammate David Weir. He's gone back to Richard Wright, who will be pleased to get the early touches in. And his return, that was a full touch by Bocanegra, and Everton have possession again. It's gone out to Osman. There's an overlap. Hibbert. Osman again. Tackle there by Noel Morton at Fulham again, have given the ball away. Hibbert into the box, just ahead of Cahill.
Pembridge took a bit of a chance, allowing that to come across his front post there, but given away by Elliott initially. Fulham can't afford to give up possession that easily as deep.
Giving possession away again. James Beattie peeling away. Pursued by Liam Rosinia. It's the young left-back who's come away with the ball neatly. This is Haidar Helgason.
Well, McBride wanted it earlier. Made a good run through the middle there. Split the two Everton centre-halves, but they had to arrive early. He's played a good first-time layoff, and he's on his way here, and he wants it now. Doesn't arrive in time.
Cambridge cleverly picking out Volts. Morte with the ball over the top, chased by Simon Elliott, but again Alan Stubbs is the man doing the defending for Everton. Valente looking for Beattie. Beattie's got goal side of Knight. Is that a penalty? He's awarded it. Everton have the penalty for Zat Knight's foul on James Beattie, and a chance to take the early lead.
Well, it's a terrific run from Beattie in behind Knight, but he needed the ball delivered exactly when it was delivered. Valente, beautifully weighted ball in behind, and Knight, wrong side, was in no position to make a challenge here, and he's just clipped his heels. Not convinced that's intentional, but it was certainly the right decision from Uriah Rennie. Once he's wrong side, Zat Knight has a real problem there.
So, Zat Knight's misjudgment offers James Beattie the chance to put Everton in front. He did score a hat-trick once against Fulham when he was playing for Southampton. Beattie steps up and Beattie scores. Everton lead by 1-0. Fulham's wretched away form continues. Beattie's reached double figures for Everton, and they have the lead.
Oh, he looks a different player these days. There's so much confidence about James Beattie. Steps up, just closes his body at the last moment. Controlled power into the left-hand corner. And to be fair to Beattie, it was his run that made the goal. More than entitled to take it.
Well, he scored the winner in 3 of 4 home games in the Premiership in this run. Everton do have a habit of winning games by 1-0. 9 of their last 11 victories have been by a single goal, Everton, but the goal came after only 13 minutes, so maybe they can improve on that. Knight, whose blunder led to the penalty, finds Boa Morte. Here's Pembridge. Fulham will need to get back to try and lift their confidence. Here's Malbranc. A disappointing cross in the end from the Belgian-born Frenchman. Well, Fulham still isolated in being the only English professional club looking for an away win. Have made the worst possible start. Zat Knight's missed that header, picked on by McFadden. There's an injury there. Okay. Zat Knight is the man receiving treatment, so he's had a very uncomfortable opening quarter of an hour.
I think you'll see at the goal that James Beattie ran off Bocanegra here. Now he's coming blind side here of Zat Knight. He can't see the run coming, but Bocanegra could, and he just didn't track the run. And once Beattie gets in there, Zat Knight's in big trouble. Well, what a good penalty. Shaped as if he was going to put it in the other corner and just closed his body at the last moment. Perfect penalty.
A wonderfully struck spot kick. Everton the early advantage. Zat Knight's okay after that little injury. Cahill's won the ball in the air. Here's Valente. That's a clever header into the path of Arteta, but it was well read by Volts. Here's Malbranc. McBride really to aim for. Stubbs is well placed. Now it's Pembridge. Quick feet, but it was a good tackle by Phil Neville. Now then, Cahill for Everton, powering forward and finding McFadden. This cross looks over long. Rosinia's put it out of harm's way. Says he didn't get a call.
Well, once again, they worked the wide area very well there. If anything, there's a lack of support for James McFadden. Had he lifted his head, he'd have noticed that only Osman was hitting the penalty area. But they'll quite gladly take a corner, and Everton really bossing this game at the moment.
They certainly have been the dominant side in the opening 18 minutes or so. They have the lead. I don't think too many people would have put this down as an away win on the Pools coupon. was up towards Stubbs. He was climbing all over his man there. It's Helguson going down. Now I just wonder whether there was a leading elbow there or something, because Uriah Rennie seemed to run across to Stubbs rather quickly, and a stretcher will be needed.
I just wonder if Uriah Rennie actually saw it, John. I think he may have been watching the ball there. I think he reacted to Helguson going down, but I just wonder if he saw it. Well, Helguson's just standing his ground. There's nothing in the law that says he has to jump. Stubbs is trying to get over him. Helguson's just made a bridge here. And if he has caught him again, it's accidental, I think. But Helguson doing his job there, making sure that Alan Stubbs isn't getting a free run at it.
He's gone all the way back to Richard Wright, who on his return to first team football from injury has had a very, very quiet time so far. Midway through the first half, James Beattie's penalty separates the sides. Kick's been given there against Everton.
Well, again, it's a needless one from Tony Hibbert, just inviting pressure. I don't think Helguson could have done much with it, but once again Fulham will load up the back post now. Knight's gone up. McBride's a good target, as is Helguson.
Yeah, there's no shortage of heads to aim at there. Elliott will take the free kick. So Knight, who got up. It's Richard Wright's first action of the game in any real sense, and it was a fairly straightforward catch in the end, but they did find the big defender there.
Well, I think it was relieved to see it coming straight at him, Richard Wright, when there's this amount of pace in the ball. It's been very easy for Zat Knight to find either corner.
Strangely, given his height, doesn't get many goals, Zat Knight. Hasn't scored since the final day of last season when Fulham thrashed Norwich at Craven Cottage by 6-0. And of course, shortly after scoring that goal, he went on to win his 2 England caps on the Tour of America last May. Hibbert in towards Beattie. Couldn't get a touch. Arteta keeps it in. Good exchange of feet from left to right there. Here's Philip Neville. It's a wasted opportunity.
It's typical of Mikel Arteta, and he's a lad who'd much rather be playing in the central area, playing a little bit wider today. It's a narrow 3 in front of Phil Neville, but he's naturally right-footed, and if Maurice Vaulks shows him the inside, he's liable to trouble for them.
He was a member of Rangers' treble-winning team in 2003. Leon Osman. Decent ball down the line for McFadden to chase. It's just got there ahead of Carlos Bocanegra. It's well played. McFadden again. Phil Neville. See what he was trying to do there. Trying to squeeze it through to Leon Osman, but it was well defended. Here's Arteta though for Everton. Nuno Valente. Beattie! Oh, just wide this time. Close to his second.
10 out of 10 to Valente. It was he who won the initial challenge, continued his run. Good tackle here from Valente. He's then played in by Arteta, and he hangs up nicely at the back post for Beattie. I'm not convinced Warner's getting there if that finds the inside of the post, but a well-worked move again. Most of the trouble for Fulham coming down Everton's left-hand side.
James Beattie bearing the mark of a confident striker. Smacked home his penalty. Wasn't far away there from making it 11 goals for the season. Fulham survive at 1-0 for the time being, although they've been second best pretty much throughout. Well, only succeeded in finding Helgeson, but the Australian has got it back, and it's a good purposeful run. It's got Hibbert just behind him. This is Phil Neville. Now Arteta. Decent cross in as well. Cahill first to it. Couldn't quite wrap his foot round the ball enough to get it on target.
Arteta's doing a terrific job on that left-hand side, though. Getting some real good servicing. And this time with his left foot. Shaped as if he was going back onto his right. And made a nice little angle. If anything, it's slightly behind Cahill.
It was a little bit ambitious from Tim Cahill, but Mikel Arteta has been the game's dominant figure so far. Neville forward, McFadden chasing, Warner will get there. Sliced away by Weir. I've seen the ball in Everton's half much in the last 5 minutes or so. That night into the box, just a flick by McBride, but Helgeson not able to get on the end of it.
I think if anything I had to come back across goal there. That looks their best bet at the moment. Fulham diagonals to Helgeson and McBride playing for the second ball.
McBride got the winner at Craven Cottage between these two in August. Traditionally the home side in the Premiership wins this fixture. At the moment the home side lead. Cambridge. Now Volts. Back to Neville. Here's Beattie. It's a lovely ball. Crossfield to Leon Osman. Hibbert's making a speedy run down the right. This is Tony Hibbert now. He's won a corner for his side. Off for senior.
Osman just sent him a little bit too wide there. Just overcooked the pass into the wide area, but Hibbert, as usual, more than willing to offer himself on the right-hand side.
Well, Stubbs and Weir, combined age 79, are up for this corner kick. There is Stubbs, not far away. Decent header from the veteran defender.
Yeah, he's complaining again that Helgeson is impeding him, but Helgeson's job there is to make sure that Stubbs isn't getting that clean. And while he's not winning it himself, he does his job.
I feel actually I should issue an apology to
Alan
Stubbs and David Weir. Their combined age is 69, not 79. All that proves is that I can't do maths. Cambridge knocking it forward, Stubbs away. Volts upfield, McBride heads it to Malbranc. Malbranc not able to pick out a teammate there. Tony Hibbert for Everton. McFadden is not offside, but just too much pace on the ball.
It's a little bit too straight there to find James McFadden, but he's timed his run to perfection there, McFadden, and Fulham getting caught now and again, the two centre-backs, a little bit flat. And that was a major problem for them against Arsenal last week.
Well, last week Fulham were undone by one of the performances of the season. That night has only succeeded in finding Osman. Osman chips in, away by Bocanegra. Senior beaten to it by Osman. I think that was into the face rather than the arm of Pembridge on that occasion. Stubbs again, using his mind as well as his legs to anticipate that situation. Here's Arteta. McFadden. Arteta! Oh, it's a terrific save by Tony Warner. Lovely move, lovely stop by the keeper.
It certainly was. A lovely exchange here between Arteta and McFadden, always running with his head up, the Spaniard. Terrific way to ball back from McFadden. Took a little nick there off Zach Knight, and it may have taken some of the pace of it and made it an easier save for Warner. Still at full stretch.
That was a handball by Simon Elliott, but that was a really good save by Tony Warner, who arrived from Cardiff City in the summer. There's talk of Warner playing for Trinidad in the World Cup this summer. His father is Trinidadian, although he emigrated to this part of the world, Liverpool, in 1962. So he does have a Trinidadian father. Here's Cahill setting up Beattie for the chip! Oh, that is superb from James Beattie! He's got his second, Everton have got their second, and it's thoroughly deserved.
Well, Tony Warner's given his defender stick for standing off, but that is a special piece of football. From a player at the moment who's right at the top of his game and has every bit of confidence a striker could have. I think we'll see the Warners possibly even inside this 6-yard box, and the weight is absolutely exquisite. Nice little layoff there from Cahill. Beattie's got a chance to get his head up, but that's a special piece of finishing.
Beautiful goal by James Beattie, superbly executed. Two strikes, a confidently taken corner, and an absolute deft piece of genius. Beattie has 11 goals this season now, and he's 7 in 8 appearances against Fulham. Cahill and McFadden are in forward positions. Hibbert on another run down the right-hand side, chips in towards McFadden, it's just too high, and Simon Elliott's put it behind.
Well, Everton are killing Fulham in the wide areas. Hibbert again steaming forward. This time he gets a far better pass from Osman. The weight and the angle is right. Tony Hibbert doesn't have to break stride. If anything, he hangs up a little bit too high at the back post. But Everton really moving through the gears now.
Arteta will take the corner kick. It's time for another goal before half-time, certainly. Pembridge away. Arteta tries to get round Pembridge. He's played the ball out, and there was no foul.
Well, I think there was a foul, John. I think Mikel Arteta reckons there was as well.
No foul in the opinion of Uriah Rennie.
The only one that counts.
Free kick, just incidentally, in all the adulation and praise of James Beattie's goal, Leroy Rossinier was booked by Uriah Rennie for a little bit of dissent just after that goal. Tristan Val looks as if he's going to come on for Fulham. He's missed the last 10 games with an injury. He's on the bench today and looks as if he's going to come on early. Ball's gone out of play, which may enable the substitution to take place. Not just yet. Oh, it is going to be allowed now, and Philippe Tristan Val is replacing Simon Elliott. The New Zealander, I don't think he's injured, Davey.
I think there's a slight limp there, I think there's a very slight limp there as he's gone off. I may be wrong, but I think that's a knock or a pull of some kind.
Tristan Val has had an ankle injury, hasn't played since the draw against Aston Villa on December the 28th. He's a 27-year-old Frenchman. It's his 8th appearance for Fulham. Free kick then for Fulham, approaching the end of the first half. Pembridge, so often for Fulham the delivery has been overhit.
Oh, exactly. I mean, their only chance at the moment looks to be from a set piece. They just squandered another one. The important thing for Everton is that they get in at worst 2-0. They don't want to give Fulham any encouragement here.
Apart from a routine catch from a Zatnight header, there's been nothing for Chris Coleman to get any enjoyment or enthusiasm from yet in this half. Here's Malbranc though. Roberts got there ahead of the senior. This is Volts. Pembridge giving it straight to Cahill. He has pushed that one down for McFadden to chase, but Bocanegra got across there.
Again, they're making the Fulham defenders turn them. You know, these balls that are being knocked in behind, they're turning them all the time.
Beattie's ball in, this time it's gone straight to Warner. And Stubbs knocks it down. Uriah Rennie blows his whistle, and a very one-sided 45 minutes of football. Everton all the way, James Beattie leading the charge, a wonderfully taken penalty, and then an absolute beauty of a chip. Wonderful piece of finishing, giving him both goals and giving Everton a richly deserved half-time lead. Doesn't look as if Fulham's away day woes are going to end on Merseyside this afternoon. It's been the home side all the way, and at half-time it's Everton 2, Fulham 0. So can Everton reproduce the dominance they showed in the first half of this game? James Beattie's 2 goals, a very fair reflection of the opening 45 minutes. Fulham creating little or nothing. It's hard to think of a meaningful piece of action that Nigel Martin had in that opening period. Everton in the Richard Wright, I should say. Everton in the blue and white, kicking from left to right in this second half. With me to watch it is Davy Provan.
I think the surprising thing for me, John, is how well Everton have done in the wide areas, because in the absence of Kevin Coban, they don't have a natural wide player on the side. You know, between Arteta and Nuno Valente and Hibbert getting forward on either side, they've done so well to make good angles and service up penalty area.
Here's Tristan Val, who came on as a substitute for Simon Elliott in that first half for Fulham just before the half-time interval. Surely it can't get any worse for Fulham. Luis Boamorte, their skipper, has been a peripheral figure so far, but will look to produce something from this free kick. Towards McBride, well defended by Alan Stubbs, who was an absolute pillar of solidarity for Everton in the opening half. This is Leon Osman with some clever skill to get beyond Malbranc, who finally clipped him.
Good refereeing right below us, and it was the deftest of touches there from Malbranc, but well spotted by Uriah Rennie. You mentioned Alan Stubbs, John, and he's won every big header that he's had to win. Hasn't won them all, but the ones that count, or have had to count, he's won.
It's his central defensive partner David Ware, who will chip the free kick forward towards Cahill. Has found Osman. First time ball in, this time the header is from Arteta, and Warner made a comfortable save.
I think a bit more conviction from Mikel Arteta, who's not renowned for his aerial prowess, would say. If he certainly gets across the front of Volts there, his favourite.
Bronk losing out to Cahill. And he's going to try and release Beattie, but he was just caught there. He does continue though, I think. Is he getting a corner, David?
He has. I think he tried to give Everton the advantage. He could have penalised Fulham for the challenge on Cahill, but decided to let it go.
I'm not sure the Fulham players were too aware that that was the case. I must admit, I thought the game had been halted, but anyway, Everton will welcome the corner kick. Arteta's delivery. Header is away by Helgeson. Phil Neville knocks it back, but it's hit his own player, David Weir, on the way through. That one's hit Malbranc, but he's okay, and feeds Boa Morte. Neville's nipped in though. Arteta again, he had so much of the ball in the first half down that left. Wrestling combination with Volts, he's got it back via a clever back heel from McFadden. This is Osman. Volley is wide, but worth a try. Scored against West Ham last week, Leon Osman.
Again, the build-up's good. Leon Osman just trying to work the ball left to right, hitting it with cut spin. Just starts it a little bit too far left to get enough action on it. But Davy Moyes will want this third goal, get the job finished off. The last thing he wants to see here is Everton lose one and Fulham getting some encouragement.
Nuno Valente's cross, Leroy Rossignol away.
Surprised he took a touch. Nuno Valente didn't have to. He had strikers making early runs.
Arteta's got it now. No ball in. Cahill was there but couldn't make contact. All Everton at the moment. Phil Neville. Two-goal hero James Beattie looking to turn provider here. Slides in. By McFadden to Osman. It was blocked by Bocanegra and it needed to be. Tiny suspicion of hands. I think it may have been the chest. Beattie to McFadden. McFadden! Oh, that's another fantastic goal! And Everton have wrapped it up now. Wonderful left foot volley by the Scotsman. And Everton are home and dry.
Well, it's no more than they deserve. They've had so much possession at the beginning of this second half. And this is another terrific example of very sound technique from James McFadden. Liam Rossignol, I don't think does enough to go and squeeze here. And it sets up nicely for James McFadden. And it's a nice range to get it up and get it back down. And Warner again is absolutely helpless there. Nice touch on the chest. What a good finish. I think Rossignol should be going and putting a bit of squeeze on here. He stands off James McFadden, and boy is he punished.
And Warner has had no chance with any of the goals. And believe it or not, that's James McFadden's first ever Premiership goal at Goodison. He produced a good one to bring up the landmark. I think they want more Everton here. Osman trying to get them going.
Golden goal time. The goal scored by James McFadden.
Not a surprise.
At 54 minutes and 37
10 minutes into the second half.
54 minutes,
The game is as good as over, and Fulham thrashed 4-0 by Arsenal a week ago. Are in danger of another hammering.
Handball given here against Phil Neville. He's just trying to press Tony Warner there. The hand went up automatically. Maybe Phil Neville saying it wasn't deliberate. The hand was certainly up. You might say he was protecting his face, but we talked earlier on, John, about players who put their hands above their head or out sideways from their body, and I think they take a chance when they do that.
Seemed a strange thing to do in that position as well. He's on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's almost like a charge down in rugby. Second player to be booked, incidentally, after Leroy Rossignol went into the book for some dissent in the first half. Neville's kept the ball in. Malbranc. Neville didn't like that challenge at all, and is making his feelings plain to Uriah Rennie as well.
And maybe just a little bit of frustration setting in now for Fulham, spending a lot of time here watching Everton pass the ball. Temper's becoming a little bit frayed. I think Fulham probably think the game is beyond them already. He's just booked Philip Neville, so I think the
former Manchester United player, is rather wisely.
I just wonder if Phil Neville manages to get the feet up in time. You know, he can see Malbranque coming. He's got no room for manoeuvre, stuck right out on the touchline.
This is Cahill. It's a free kick to Fulham. Well, Everton, the specialists at 1-0 wins, not just this season but last season as well. This is a goal fest for David Moyes by those standards, and we've seen two absolute stunners that will live long in the memory. Pembridge releasing Malbranque for Fulham. Richard Wright is there, out quickly and decisively.
So the first decent ball, Fulham have managed to get in from the wide area. Good goalkeeping.
Senior past his man and fed it down the line towards Morte. Terrific defending by Tony Hibbert. Morte will take the corner. Zach Knight inevitably trying to use his height, but it's a poor delivery. David Weir got it clear. Senior back in. Knocked down. Knight will try and prevent that crossing the line.
Well, McBride did well to win the first ball. Just trying to help it on, hoping he's got a back post runner there. But the pace on the ball just takes it away from Zach Knight. A few times that Brian McBride has won the first ball into the box. Weir and Stubbs have been so dominant in that area.
It's hard to think of an area where Everton haven't been dominant in truth. Beattie with the flick, McFadden finding Osman. He fancies a dig, took a deflection, and Warner did well to adjust his body to beat it away.
Again, Chris Coleman, I think, would be disappointed at the room that Osman got to pull the trigger there.
Having broken his Goodison back, here's James McFadden, possibly looking to get another. A bit overzealous there, although he's won a free kick. Cahill had peeled away to the right-hand side looking for a pass. McFadden went on his own.
That's McFadden at his very best. Two-footed player, can go either way.
There's Philippe Christanval with the challenge. Quite a lot of debate going on as to who might strike this.
Well, the three over the ball are all capable. Arteta certainly with the right foot, McFadden with the left.
Nuno Valente, the third member of the triumvirate. McFadden! Oh, it was almost 4-0 with another scorcher.
Well, there's terrific action on the ball. He gets his foot right round this. And it's a nice height as well. Clears the wall, starts to dip. I don't think that's more than a foot wide.
Not sure Warner would have got across either. Might just have done. Weir was being pushed by McBride. Just an unhappy return to Goodison for Ryan McBride and of course Mark Pembridge. McBride scored 4 goals in 8 games on loan here in 2003. He hasn't had a whiff of a goal today. Here's Leon Osman. Gets the better of Rosenior. Arteta is on the far side. Support from McFadden if he needs it, and from Nuno Valente further back. Arteta attempts to go it alone. Malbranque wins the ball. Ferguson to Pembridge. Pembridge was brought down by Nuno Valente.
He's been out for a long time, Pembridge, but for me he's been their best player today. He's been in there on his own. They've been overrunning midfield.
Well, we heard this week he'd returned to training. We were surprised to see his name on the team sheet, but as you say, he's done very well. This is Beattie. This one seeing plenty of the ball in the second half. That's a lovely ball down the flank for McFadden. That Knight coming across, and he's got that. Oh, that might have sneaked in. He's never scored a goal for Everton. He almost got one there.
I don't think Tony Warner knew too much about it. Fortunately enough, the ball swinging right to left away from the goal. Certainly meant as a cross, but it almost finds the inside of that far post. And it would have been a freak, but it would have been a welcome one for the fullback.
Here's Cahill. There's not too much up ahead of him at the moment, so he's gone out wide to find Arteta. Tony Hibbert has enjoyed getting forward in this second half. Simon Davis has found the other substitute, Kevin Kilban. Phil Neville's on the overlap. Steve Malbrow forced to keep the ball in play. Collins John, who has hardly been in the Everton half since he came on as a sub. Here he is now, though, looking to take on Weir, and he's done that well. It's Collins John, it's Boamorte, and it's the nearest Fulham have come to a goal.
Well, it certainly deserved a goal. Terrific set-up play from Collins John. It all came from a long ball that get Everton turning for perhaps the first time in the match. Good feet here from Collins John to skin David Weir. Needs support, and he gets it. Just didn't quite get enough on it with the outside of the left foot. But a bit of penetration at long last in the wide area from Fulham. But if anything, too little, too late.
Hopefully this game won't end in a similar fashion to game between these two sides a few years ago, when David Weir and Lois Boamorte were sent off, and there was a 22-man brawl which resulted in FA penalties. Here's Collins John anyway. He's gone down in the box, and Uriah Rennie has awarded Fulham a penalty.
Well, Tony Hibbert reckons he took the ball. But he is tackling Tony Hibbert with his right foot, his body's closed. Trying to tuck in and cover his centre-backs, as he's done well today. He takes nothing of it whatsoever. And that's a good decision from Uriah Rennie, despite the protest from Tony Hibbert. Good feet from Collins John.
Well, it may well be a consolation goal, but Collins John has the opportunity to give Fulham something. It's another emphatic penalty kick, and Fulham have got one back. It won't be anywhere near enough to save them, and David Moyes will be furious at not keeping a clean sheet.
And just goes straight down the middle practically. Just powers this. Richard Wright takes a guess, as most keepers do.
Actually, the second time Collins John has played against Everton in his career, and it's the second time that he's scored against them. Got one of the goals in a 2-0 win back in April. Taking a little bit of the shine perhaps off this Everton win, because they never really looked like conceding. Well, here's Collins John again. Surely not a second. McBride! Brilliant defending by David Weir. How quickly things can change.
Oh, Everton just sliced open. Collins John is trying to score here. He bends his run to stay onside. And it's just a miss hit, and it almost fell for Brian McBride. Good defending from David Weir. That's a miss hit for me.
Well, 5 minutes ago you could not possibly have anticipated this. Suddenly Everton concede a goal. If that had gone in, who knows? The expression hasn't changed. I think his has. It's darkened a little. Here's Arteta for Everton. Weir with the ball forward. Andy van der Meijder's underneath it, but Bocanegra was up above him. This is Neville. Van der Meijden again. He's got bags of skill, the Dutchman. Oh, that's a wonderful run. Van der Meijden! Waited a little too long. Arteta! Beattie! Saved by Warner in the end. Three of them had a go. Beattie going for the hat-trick, denied by the Fulham keeper.
Wonderful feet from Van der Meijden. I don't know quite how he gets away from Zat Knight here. Wonderful play. Always determined to work it back onto his right side. Beattie has to take it on in a half-turn.
Forward up again towards Van der Meijden, but the flag is raised. Everton will be hoping that Van der Meijden can stay injury-free, because he is a very exciting talent. Former Ajax and Inter Milan player. Two former clubs meet incidentally in the Champions League on Tuesday night to decide who will play Villarreal in the quarter-finals. I'm sure he'll be watching that one. I'm sure he'll be supporting. They're getting it away, only as far as Pembridge. This is
The fourth
Malbron.
official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes of added
Fulham
time.
have suddenly come to life. Not long to manufacture anything though, and a free kick has gone against them. Collins John penalised in the box.
All of a sudden they're getting balls in from the wide area. I mean, they haven't done that the whole game, but they're getting in behind the Everton fullbacks now, making them turn.
Well, you shouldn't laugh, but Collins John went across to try and hurry it up and ended up spinning over on his backside. And now he's asking the referee for some added time. I think time has run out for Fulham. Worth watching again though.
To be fair to this fella, he has sparked this mini revival. The minute he come on, Fulham up to tempo.
It's true enough. Yeah, they manufactured the first real chance with 10 minutes left, and since then they've scored and might have had another. Here they come again. It's bewildering. After a dormant 80 minutes, they've suddenly erupted. Ball is played wide for Maurice Volts. Early cross, headed down by John Malbronk. Brilliantly blocked McBride. Fantastic save by Richard Wright. I'm not sure David Moyes will be able to believe the last 5 minutes of this game.
I'm just delighted it didn't end up in the net. Simon Davis gets a terrific tackle in here. Look at Davis there, that tackle there, absolutely crucial. Good save from Richard Wright. And Everton making heavy weather of this.
Everton may get a bit of breathing space with Arteta. 2 minutes only were added on. Here's Leon Osborne! He's fired it wide.
Never got hold of it. Trying to attempt to set himself. Fulham backing off again. He smothered it.
That is clear. But Everton have won their 5th consecutive Premiership home game. Fulham have gone 15 without an away win now. David Moyes' enjoyment of this will have been tempered by a madcap last 10 minutes when Fulham threatened to get back in it. James Beattie was the hero of the first half with a wonderfully struck penalty and then an absolutely wonderful chip which you'll enjoy seeing over and over again. The Everton fans saw their side in total control for 80 minutes of this game. James McFadden scored a stunning volley. Mikel Arteta was at the heart of all good things for Everton. But then Collins John came on and the game changed. And he scored a penalty late on. It was only a consolation, but it didn't really tell the story of the last 10 minutes when Fulham laid siege to Everton. And in the end, there'll be elation tinged with just a little bit of relief for those supporters. But overall, they've been much the better side. James Beattie's 2 goals, the platform for an emphatic win at Goodison Park. It finished Everton 3, Fulham 1. Well, Alan, for 80 minutes, that must have been one of the best Everton performances you've seen this season.
Yes, it was. It was a game that we were concerned about, because I saw Fulham playing at Bolton a couple of weeks ago, and they were excellent and deserved something out of that game, I thought. And you know, we realised that we would have to play well to beat them, and we were delighted with the way the lads played. It
was strange, though, that at 3-0 you looked as if you absolutely had the game in your pocket. But in the last 10 minutes, you know, anything could have happened, and suddenly you were on the back foot.
Yes, obviously they had a chance at 3-1, which, had that gone in, would have made it a bit of a scary last couple of minutes for us. Fortunately, Richard made a good save, and we got away with that.
Did it take the shine off it at all for you?
It takes a little bit of the edge off it not to finish a game that you've played so well in for most of it, not to finish it well. So that takes a little bit of an edge off it, but you've got to look at the whole game, and obviously we're delighted with what happened for probably 85 minutes.
For you, it was your first Premiership goal at Goodison, and you've given them a few memories, though, with that strike, haven't you?
Yeah, it was a nice goal, I think. It was a good ball up to Beattie, and he headed it back to me, and I've took a touch, and I think I've heard him shouting to hit it, so I've just hit it, and it's thankfully it's gone in the goal, and hopefully I can get a few more.
I'm playing with a smile on my face, enjoying my football. But as I've just said out there, it's easy to do that when you've got such fantastic players around you, you know, playing really well. Like Mikel Arteta and Leon Osman and everybody. But you know, them two, I think, deserve special mentions. And it's great to be playing in a team that's doing well.
So Everton beat Fulham by 3-1 at Goodison Park.